Robin Jackman is there, and with him Shane Warne.
Yes, thank you, David. And what a very, very good game of cricket that was. Shane, I reckon probably one of the better games of the tournament so far.
Yeah, it was a close game. Gavaskar played very well. Couldn't quite do it in the last over, but played a great innings. And it was good to see both sides playing the right spirit, the pride. It didn't really mean much, not in the finals, but both took a bit of pride in their performances, and it was a very good game of cricket.
Anybody you'd like to pick out of that particular match?
I thought the keeper, Van Veek, did very well. Copped a dodgy one off the pitch, but had a very good game, I thought, overall. And I thought the South Africans have had a very good series. They've won 2 games, and I thought they had a very good series.
Once again, we saw, though, didn't we, a great bit of spin bowling from Joshi.
Yeah, I thought he's been an outstanding bowler through the whole tournament. I thought Damien Fleming from Australia, Rindle for South Africa, but Joshi I thought's been outstanding for India. And to see the spinner bowling in this form of cricket with only 6 fielders is quite tough, and I thought he did the job very well.
Just to pinch you for a second or two longer and look forward to this afternoon, not necessarily to the next match, because as you've explained, it's all, you know, pretty much of just a game of cricket, because the finalists are decided. How do you see the final?
I think it's a good game. It's going to be a good game, because both sides haven't lost the game. Unfortunately, we didn't see Australia and New Zealand yesterday afternoon with the washout. But I think it's going to be a good game, because I think Chris Harris with his bowling is hard to get away. But you've got some left-handers in the Australian side. Adam Gilchrist, who's been playing very well. Divinito, who struggled a little bit yesterday. But overall, I think Australia and New Zealand have been the best sides in the competition. And it'll be an exciting game to watch.
Well, we all look forward to that.
Thanks very much. Robin Jackman down there with Shane Warne. And this third day pitch starting to take some spin. Wouldn't Shane Warne be a handy player to have for Australia?
It would be indeed, but I think this particular tournament has shown up some very, very good young players. I think the selection committees of their respective boards would be certainly looking at the performances. More important than the performance really has been the attitude. The attitude is important. I think in a competition with only 14 overs, you've got to have the right attitude. And I think some of the players have shown that they have the right attitude towards big-time cricket, shown good temperament as well. And I think these are the players that the selection committees of the various sports should be looking at.
Well, it was a very good game, as Robin Jackman and Shane Warne said. Probably the best game of the tournament so far. Some good high scoring and a close match. And this is what happened to India.
He's a good player, Ajay Jadeja. Very intelligent player. He was trying to get the ball down to third man. Just got a little thin edge. If he had got a thicker edge, the ball might have flown away from him. But what a catch there. Not only has Von Heck...
So a good result for South Africa. The young side has played particularly well. They lost 1 game with the last ball, and then they won that game. So they won 2 games from their 4 to finish in 3rd spot. So a very good result. Next match will be between New Zealand and Pakistan. Before that, we can go down to Robin Jackman. And if you've just joined us, don't look at the man that he's about to speak to, just look at his nose.
Yes, it's Morne van Veek, and nothing stops for television, David. He's come down here for an interview straight away. I believe the nose is broken, Morne.
Yeah, doctors told me that it's broken.
Well, it's a rough game. It's a rough game.
Yeah,
Tell me, how did it happen?
Well, a couple of the balls David bowled before the time stayed a bit low. So I was sort of expecting 1 or 2 to stay low a bit more. And that one just jumped and came out of nowhere and hit me straight on the nose. I just saw it come straight at me and I couldn't do anything about it.
Okay, well, you didn't have a broken nose when you batted, but you batted quite superbly and have done throughout the tournament. You must be very pleased.
I am very pleased with my batting. At the academy in Joburg, we did a lot of hard work. We practiced a lot for the Super 8's, and it came off here. Felt good and confident. Very happy with it.
And in terms of playing against other countries that you haven't played against before, particularly established test players, that must have been a great experience for you.
Yeah, it was a great experience. It was firstly a great honors play for South Africa, even if it's not recognised, but for all of us, we worked hard for our country out there, and playing against top international players like that was a privilege and an honour, and just kept us
whacked that away. 2 men on the legs.
I got the impression when you were batting, Morne, although there are only 6 fielders to worry about, that you were very deliberate in where you felt that you could hit a boundary, and if you had to improvise to do that, that's the way you went about it.
Yeah, it doesn't help just close your eyes and hope it goes over. Take calculated risk and go for the gaps. That's the best way of playing this sort of thing.
And talk us now through your wicket keeping. How about that catch?
As I say, we did a lot of hard work, especially on the keeping in Joburg as well. Especially on the right hand, we worked a lot on that. And it's just great. I thought it might be just a little bit far, and I just thought, no, take off and go. and when I stood up, it was in my hand. So I was very happy with that.
It was quite interesting actually watching the whole series, because the greater majority of nicks throughout the series have just been fine nicks and straight to the keeper, and there have been very few that have actually gone through the slip area. This is about the only one that was a fairly fat edge and the keeper could get to it.
Yeah. I don't know, it's maybe because the wicket is very slow and it stays low sort of, and the guy's varying the pace a lot.
And the pitch itself, from day 1 through to day 3, I know the groundsman Andrew Rutledge is very keen to get reports back from the players. Has it been fairly consistent for all 3 days, or is it only today maybe that the bounce has been a bit irregular?
No, I think Andrew's done a great job. Yeah, I think the wicket was only laid about 6 months ago for the Commonwealth Games in 2 months' time, and the wicket's been very, very good. I mean, it stayed basically the same over the last 3 days. It was nice and hard and very good one-day wickets. I think even in South Africa this would have been a good wicket on the 3rd day. So congratulations to Andrew, he did very well.
Well, I know you're clutching behind you a bag of ice, so you better get it back on your beak.
Okay.
And hope the break's not too bad.
No, thanks a lot. Hope it breaks it back nicely.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Well, fortunately, the incident with the nose occurred in the last match, late in the last game for South Africa, so plenty of time for Mornay to get that fixed up. Second game on the final day are just about to begin. Pakistan versus New Zealand. New Zealand, well, they've got a bit of work to do because they have to play this game, then they have a break for lunch, and then back into the final against Australia. Australia having the luxury on this third morning of being able to rest at their hotel room and just wander in after lunch before the start of the grand final. So that could be an advantage for Australia, particularly given that New Zealand is batting at the moment, will therefore bowl second. Razzaq measuring out his run-up, so perhaps he will open the bowling for Pakistan. Pakistan have been probably the innovators as far as working out their bowling schedules, yet they haven't won a match, so just taking them a while to get themselves organised. So Craig Spearman to face the new ball. Sadly for the spectators, as Bruce Yardley joins me, the Mohammad Zahid is the man missing out today for Pakistan. Certainly been an exciting young fast bowler, Bruce. Yardles.
Yes, he's one of my favourites. Bowled really quite fast yesterday. His opening game, it was his first game back from injury, and just bowled off a short run and didn't do all that much, but decided to let them rip later on and looked terrific. So Abdul Razzaq, he can build up a fair bit of pace, but you'd probably class him as medium quick. He's going to open the bowling for Pakistan. Nathan Astle and Craig Spearman will open the batting for New Zealand. It's Abdul Razzaq.
Bowling from the commentary box end. And immediately online. And well, the new ball bowlers have been very good in this tournament. The two young South Africans, Damien Fleming, you just heard about Mohammad Zahid, and Razzaq just continuing that good form of the strike bowlers onto the spot straight away. Nathan Astle, a very good player for New Zealand in all forms of cricket. I saw him make consecutive centuries in the Caribbean in 2 test matches a couple of years ago in the early part of 1996. Very good player. Chance for a run out, should he hit, but throw is awkward, to say the least, on that occasion by Zahid. Didn't really get there quickly, and then missed by the proverbial.
He likes the ball coming onto him, Nathan Astle. Must have been an early call of yes, I think, and then no. Pretty ordinary throw, wasn't it? He'll have a look for a little while, for the first couple of overs. Most of the teams have had a look without doing too much.
Oh, look at the bounce coming through and taking it above his head, and that does bring a nice smile from the face of Astle.
Look at that take off. There's a few cracks starting to appear in the pitch. This is the third day of play, and the curator was just a little worried that they might just start to crumble on the edges of these cracks. So maybe that's hit one and taken off. Now we'll definitely have a bit of a look here. I think Nathan Astle, it's doing a bit.
And got him jumping around. Leg by should be singled. And it is. One of the laws that I'd like to see outlawed in one-day cricket, Bruce, is the leg by. I don't think the batting side should get the bonus of a leg by. The bowler's done all the work on this occasion. He's beaten the bat. And yet the batting side gets a reward.
Yeah, he's tried to play it, though.
And missed.
If the viewers could have seen the expression on David Hook's face, then it was classic. Hey.
Down the pitch, nice footwork and a good piece of fielding. And does he hit the stumps? No, he doesn't. So Timur Khan just missed the stumps, but that's how to field. A youngster watching how to aggressively attack the ball and get rid of it quickly. Very good piece of fielding, just missing the stumps in the end.
This is a better piece of fielding, and had he hit, we'll have a look. How far was he gone? Yep, he would have been out. Would have been a good start for Pakistan. Bit of pride at stake here for the Pakistanis. They haven't won one. This is their last chance to win a match in this tournament.
Last ball of the first over, and New Zealand just get 4 runs from it.
Yeah, he's a nice looking cricketer, this guy. He can bat a bit as well. Only a youngster. Builds up a fair bit of pace at times. Gets on a track that's doing a bit. He can be a pretty handy customer. Experimented with him a couple of times in some one-day limited over internationals as an opener because he's a good striker of the ball. We'll see some more of him throughout the years to come.
So that's the remainder of the New Zealand lineup. Missing for them is Chris Drum. So should New Zealand win this match against Pakistan, they will be level with Australia on points. So that would be a good result. New Zealand, through Martin Crowe, invented max cricket. Australia and Greg Chappell, the Super 8's concept. So it has been a combination of the two games.
Mohammad Hussain opening the bowling from the other end for the Pakistanis. I like this idea. They've got someone bowling fairly sharp from one end and then the left arm orthodox spinner from the other. Just upsets the rhythm of the batsman. The ball's not coming on at the same pace the whole time.
And good piece of captaincy here, Pakistan, by Bastard Ali. He's got 4 men inside the circle. We haven't seen that very often. He only has to have 3 in by the laws of Supermax 8's cricket. But he has 4 in there, and I think that's just a nice aggressive move early in the game. He's got his spinner on, saying to the batsman, given the pitch is taking some turn, if you're good enough, go over the top early in your innings if you want to take the punt. Good bowling.
Well bowled, yeah, it is a good ploy. If he wants to try and hit straight down the ground, he's got a chance of the ball spinning away from the bat for a catch, maybe at a backward point.
And he's gone over the top all right. And he may as well have his 4 fieldsmen inside the circle because that has gone about 15 metres over the boundary line at long on. Did it go in the max zone? Just to the left of the max zone, so only 6 runs, not 12.
He's hit that pretty well, hasn't he? It was actually turning away from him, pitched outside off stump going further away, and he's absolutely smashed it for 6 over long on. What a shot. Where will I hit the next one, eh?
That's quickly got rid of the 4th man inside the circle. He's gone out to that position. and may come into play. No, he won't. Salim will do the fielding out wide mid-wicket. Shahid Afridi was the man that was in the circle, has been sent out. 2 overs gone, New Zealand averaging 7 per over.
Yes, you need about 140, we've said all the way through here if you bat first to win the match.
At the end of the second over, New Zealand are 14 for
That's 10 and over.
Astle is on 16.
Terrific ground here. We had a deluge yesterday afternoon, torrential rain, and I was a bit worried as to whether we're going to get started today, but it's terrific drainage here, and we're on our way again.
Razzaq to bowl the 3rd over of the innings from the commentary box end. Bowled to Craig Spearman, and he's come down the track. In the air, chance here at mid-off, and Hussain takes the catch. So Spearman got down the pitch, but he just didn't hit well enough and long enough, and in the end Hussain took a pretty good catch running backwards.
Yes, he's looked for some early max points here. Come down the track, gone try to hit straight through the line of the ball back into the max zone, but there was that much more bounce from Razzaq. And that's what I do like about this Abdul Razzaq. He gets out reasonably wide on the crease, but gets up nice and high in his action. So the ball is hit high, and therefore gone straight up in the air rather than straight down the ground for maximum runs. So Spearman's gone 3 from 4, it's 14 for 1.
So that's the end of Craig Spearman. Coming in for New Zealand, their captain, Craig McMillan. But the batsmen have crossed, so he will go to the non-striker's end. In fact, it's not Craig McMillan. Matthew Bell has been given the job of coming in at first drop, replacing his captain, who was scheduled to come in. And 2 wickets and 2 balls. So Nathan Astle tried to give himself some room. It was a very good, quick delivery, very full, and Astle paid the penalty. So Razzaq's on a hat-trick.
It looked like he didn't pick this up at all the way he played this shot. He didn't pick it out of the hand. He hasn't seen it. He's played completely the wrong line. And when he bowls reasonably sharp, if you don't pick it up early, if you don't pick it up out of the hand, you're always going to be struggling. So, as Hooksy just said, Razzaq on a hat-trick, Astle's gone. It's 14 for 2.
The batsman now is Nathan Astle, and he's bowled by Abdul Razzaq.
Now another change, they're experimenting here, the New Zealanders in this match, just before they play the final after lunch. It's Chris Harris, the left-hander, coming out to bat on a hat-trick.
The incoming batsman for New Zealand is Chris Harris.
Few little nerves for Chris Harris coming in on that hat-trick. And this is the first of the wickets. Craig Spearman just trying to hit it into the max zone, but the extra bounce caused the ball to hit the splice of the bat, and therefore no distance travelled with the ball. And then a very fast delivery that Nathan Astle just played completely the wrong shot to the wrong ball. So Chris Harris on a hat-trick, has the distinction of a pair in Test cricket. Beautifully played, nice and compact. Sat there and waited. I remember Gary Cozier once, Bruce, playing against New South Wales. Len Passer got a hat-trick, and having a debriefing that night with Ian Chappell, the captain. Ian said to Gary, bad luck, and Gary said, oh, thanks very much, you're a nice bloke. And Ian said, why? He said, how was I supposed to make runs today? You sent me in the middle of a hat-trick.
I know how he feels, because it happened to me in Pakistan. I think Jeff Lawson was the 3rd.
Some good bowling by Abdul Razzaq. I know that you've been impressed with him, Bruce. They've got Mohammad Zahid, who's not playing this game, but his mantle's been taken over more than adequately.
Yes, I saw him knock back Aravinda de Silva's stumps in South Africa earlier on this year with a beauty that just nip back and beat him with pace. He's a lovely athlete, beautifully balanced when he bowls. He'll go a long way.
And nice bowling again. No slip, of course. And third man, 2 runs. Good running by Matthew Bell. Shahid Afridi just a little bit slow to get to the ball.
They look much keener today, don't they, the Pakistanis? I think they've had a bit of a shock. 3 matches for 3 losses, and they're really trying to restore some pride here. Afridi, a good throw from him. He had a good look. He thought he was going to hit the stumps. And we haven't seen that in this tournament from them before.
And Afridi into play again. So the end of the 3rd over, New Zealand losing 2 wickets in the over. They are 2 for 18.
Super Sunday, live now on Fox Sports 2. Sydney City clash with Wests. Live now. Sydney City versus Wests. Super Sunday on Fox Sports 2.
Man consuming some water is Andrew Rutledge, the turf manager. When you looked after cricket pitches in your dim dark past, Bruce, in the bow and arrow days, you were called a groundsman. So what's turf manager? Is he more intelligent?
No, I was a curator. I was a groundsman as a lackey. Then I became a curator.
And
now they become turf managers. They've got certificates these days.
Well, he has done a
Been to
wonderful
school.
job, as you said. As you said, he has done a wonderful job that you quite rightly described it. The deluge yesterday afternoon was just amazing. I'd never seen rain as heavy as that for as long. Occasionally in Brisbane you get downpours for 10 minutes or so, but this was for a couple of hours. And the water that laid on the oval was probably 4 or 5 inches deep, right across the oval like a little lake. And yet this morning we started on time.
I was worried for him because, you know, there was so much rain. I was worried about seepage under the covers. And but he got away with it.
Good bowling by Hussain, just forcing the batsman to play across the line if they're trying to score and trying to hit big 6s, and it's been unsuccessful for the New Zealanders so far. India doing a good job. Pakistan, I beg your pardon, doing a good job.
He's an enigma, isn't he, Chris Harris? You remember the innings he played against Australia in the last World Cup? I think he made 124. You wouldn't see better batting, and you would have thought that he'd had to have made, the way he played that innings, he'd have to have at least a half a dozen centuries under his belt, but he's inconsistent. Lots of ability. Maybe he's one of these guys.
Whips it away to mid-wicket.
Maybe he's one of these guys who is in the team mainly for his bowling, and he probably thinks, oh, well, the runs, I get a bonus. I think he's a lot better a batsman than that. Brilliant in the field.
And out. So Matthew Bell attempting to sweep again across the line. Hussain's got both batsmen playing across the line. And what a good 2 overs it has been for Pakistan. 3 wickets in the last 10 balls.
Yeah, not a smart shot this from Matthew Bell. It was well flighted, around the wicket, angling in, but turning away, hitting across the line, across the spin, got the back of the bat straight up in the air. So they're in trouble, New Zealand. Maybe they're just a little relaxed at the moment, the fact that they know they're in the final. 5 from 6 deliveries. They're 22 for 3. Matthew Horn making his way to the crease. He is a nice player. That's up in the top 3 for them in Test cricket and the one-day internationals. Hasn't played a big part in this particular tournament. Maybe this is his day.
Matthew Horn comes to the crease for New Zealand. Replaces Matthew Bell, who was attempting the sweep shot, only succeeded in getting the little top edge to be caught behind. In fact, it may well have been the toe of the bat.
Yeah, if he sees a replay of this, he'd probably be thinking, well, it'd be better off just sort of rocking back and trying to get a couple behind point rather than trying to hoik it over mid-wicket for 6. He probably won't ever see the replay. He wouldn't want to see it.
Some enthusiastic Pakistan cricketers giving some advice, helping each other. They're on top. And again, the sweep shot's been played, and lucky to get away with that, Matthew Horn. If he'd hit it better, if he'd hit it as well as he would have liked, he would have hit it straight down the throat of Razzaq. But the end of another good over for Pakistan. New Zealand struggling at 23 for 3.
Interesting field placement. I thought that, you know, with the Pakistanis having had picked up 3 quick wickets, that man Razzaq, who was deep at about 45 degrees there, probably could have been up inside the circle. That would have been a catch. Because if you bring the man up, you will encourage him to try and sweep. There may be a top edge and you've got another wicket and then you're really in the game. But not a good start for New Zealand. 4 overs gone, 23 for 3. Top scorer, Astle, 10 from 10. And you've got 2 new players in. Basit Ali's going to have a bowl. Bowl his little off breaks. He hasn't bowled them badly, has he?
No, I think we've found that most of the part-timers, if you like, who have bowled intelligently without trying to do too much have been okay. Starts with just one down that leg side. Matthew Horn will come back for a couple. Yes, I just think that if you're non-bowler and you just stay reasonably intelligent in your approach to what you have to do, don't try and bowl Yorkers and outswingers and slower balls, just vary your pace a little bit. You've got a bit of a chance. A bit down leg side and a wide will be called. So the penalty will be a couple of runs and an extra delivery.
Yes, he's a bit rusty today. He obviously doesn't bowl these too often. I think in the first couple of days have caught up with him. It was a bad bowling action. But that's much better. An off spinner, if he doesn't follow through down past his left hip, he'll usually fire it down leg side, and his second delivery looked pretty rusty, so you'll have to think about that. And that last one was a much better delivery.
So Chris Harris on strike. Just Basit Ali, the captain of Pakistan, working out his field. Very wide and should let it go. And the umpire's been very lenient on that occasion.
Gee whiz, he's called a couple that weren't really wides, but I have a look at this. Let's. I'm sure this is wide. Check it in replay. My goodness.
So Harris comes into the max zone. Will it go all the way? I think the heavy outfield will slow it down. Razzaq doing the chasing. So double the amount of runs the batsman ran. They ran 2, so 4 runs. There's the umpire signalling with his multicoloured flag that the ball went into the max zone. Trying again for the max zone. That's a lovely strike by Chris Harris. And 2 more runs. Fazil Zahid doing the fielding. Again, the umpire forced to raise his flag.
I'd love to know what Basit Ali is saying to Fazil Zahid. He wasn't happy about something. I thought he did a pretty good job there to cut that off. Saved 4 runs.
Come on.
Man coming back. Razzaq coming right back now to protect the max zone.
So nice footwork and nice placement by Chris Harris. Heavy outfield and may go all the way. That's a lovely shot, lovely timing. Placement was there from the start, but the placement and the timing were what got it to the boundary. So good over for New Zealand. 40 for 3 after 5 overs. So Basit Ali just straying short outside off stump. Lovely back foot shot. So a good over for New Zealand.
New Zealand, at the end of the 5th over, have now scored 40 for the loss of 3 wickets. Batsman out for New Zealand.
3 bowlers used so far. Razzaq, Hussain opened the bowling, and then Basit Ali. Changing the commentary position now as Hussain is about to bowl his 3rd and final over. Sunil Gavaskar is joined by Robin Jackman.
Thank you, David. Yes, a slowish start really by New Zealand. 40 off the first 5 overs, which is averaging out, even I can work that out, at 8 and over. So a bit of work to do for New Zealand. Oh, hello, where's that gone? Backwards.
That was a dead ball.
Don't see that happening too often in international cricket, but it's a wet ball. The outfield still a bit soggy after yesterday's soaking by the thunder showers that we had yesterday.
It's amazing, really, Sunil, that we're playing a tour. This whole ground was an absolute lake when we left here last night. There wasn't a blade of grass to be seen. Fantastic job by the ground staff here.
Yes, how often do we overlook the work that the ground staff does? Once play is called off, all of us head towards hotel rooms, to the bars or wherever. The ground staff, they have to come and make sure that the wickets are covered, the creases marked. And yesterday in particular, they had a very, very difficult job, and they have done it splendidly.
It's a good shot. It will be cut off. It's probably the longest boundary on the ground, or certainly the biggest area into which to hit the ball. A good throw.
Somehow it seems to me that New Zealand are just taking it a little easy. They're already in the finals, so they don't want to get too tired. And they'll have a break of 45 minutes for lunch, but I guess they're just trying to sort of keep their energies for the finals.
Leg by.
Well, this is the second consecutive sweep shot that he's attempted without any success. This time the ball going off the pads.
He's hit that one-handed for 6.
That ball has been hit for a 6.
And it looks as if he's just shaking his bottom hand there, which didn't stay on the bat for too long.
On the bowling of Mohammad Hussain.
Once again emphasizing the heat and humidity down here can make your palms sweat and can loosen the grip on the bat. We've seen bats flying out of the hand. This time Chris Harris managing to retain the bat in one hand, the other hand coming off, but it's still a huge 6.
New Zealand at the end of the 6th over are 51 for 3. Harris on 21.
That's what you're watching.
And Matthew Horn on 7.
Matthew Horn run a ball at the moment. And struck away well. Beautifully timed.
For New Zealand and Australian players, the fielder at square leg should really be a lot squarer than finer, because they have the tendency of sweeping the deliveries from way outside the off stump. This one was pitched on the leg stump all right, but still the ball's gone a lot squarer. Basically bowled well for Pakistan against India in their game yesterday. Hussein's again done a very good job.
hit away over extra cover. A fantastic 6 that was. We've seen one hit square off the seamers, but to hit a spinner with that sort of power, that straight, and for 6 is a bit different.
And hey, mister spectator, don't ever say anything to players when they drop catches.
And that'll be 4 more. Some very good cricket shots being played here by Chris Harris. 31 runs he has now off just 11 deliveries. 4 4s and 2 6s.
Well, Basit is giving him a lot of room around the off stump to play his shots, have a full swing of the bat. He's not making it difficult for Harris, not pulling at his pads, not trying to cramp him for room. In fact, making it easy for Chris Harris to play those shots on the offside.
Tries the pads this time, but suffers the same fate. 4 more backward a square. I just wonder, Sunil, whether round the wicket to the left-hander might change things just a little bit.
He's also got to bowl a little quicker. This is a full toss. This is really a gift to Chris Harris. And with the fielder in the circle, it was always going to be a boundary the moment he middled it.
Eventually the over comes to an end. 70 for 3. 19 off that over. 36 off Basit Ali in total, off just 2 runs, off just 2 overs. And the halfway stage, exactly 10 and over.
There was 19 runs in that over, and New Zealand at the end of the 7th over are now 70 for 3. Harris is on 35.
It's now going to be the leg spin of Afridi into the Pakistan attack.
Incoming bowler for Pakistan is...
Of course, that'll be he'll be bowling leg spinners on the short side to the left-handed Harris.
So that should make it tempting for Harris to try and hit a few more 6s. But Afridi's quicker, not only through the air but off the pitch.
Backward a square, that'll run away for 4. Saeed in pursuit, but never really ever going to catch it.
I think for a leg spinner where the ball's turning, you need to have a little more protection at sweeper cover or square cover, particularly on a short boundary like this.
Quite sure which end to throw the ball to, so throw it in halfway down the pitch. Obviously not deliberately, happens often enough. Very flamboyant stumps, I must say, multicoloured. It's the short side I was talking about for Harris. That hasn't gone for 6, but he hit it very hard indeed. It only crossed the boundary 4 or 5 metres to the fielder's right.
It's an easy shot for him. The ball's coming into him on his pads. He loves to employ the sweep shot. And we've got a lost ball again. Plenty of balls have been lost in this tournament. Some have been hit out of the park.
Chris Harris now changing his gloves. Those ones are wringing wet. And bat's obviously slipping around in his hands. He actually wipes off on his teammate's shirt. Quick injection of H2O. 39 Harris has now, 36 of those in boundaries. And just 3 singles to add to that. That's struck down to long off, who won't reach it, either to catch it or stop it.
Well, that's a very good shot from Chris Harris. The quicker delivery from Shahid Afridi, picked that well and hit it with the full flow of the bat.
A run 2 here.
The Pakistanis have to win this match, if only for pride's sake, because they haven't won a match so far in the tournament. They're not making it easy for themselves by conceding the extra run. Admittedly, the New Zealand running between the wickets is very, very good, very quick.
There's overthrow, that'll be leg byes, I think, unless Harris got an inside edge. No, he didn't. And the 8th over completed, 87 for 3.
That's one of the reasons why I feel that Pakistan really have to concentrate. We just saw the wicketkeeper having a shy at the stumps and conceding the extra run. They are making it difficult for themselves by conceding these extra runs, the Pakistanis. Razzaq has had a very good spell, 2 wickets for 7 in his 2 overs.
After the 8th over.
Bassett Ali there, 2 overs for 36, and part of 36 runs in just 2 overs for New Zealand, and the last 2 overs bowled. Afridi going for 15 in his first. And one of the innings of the tournament so far taking place here from Chris Harris. In terms of runs scored per balls faced. And he yet to use the max zone. Scored 45 in just 15 deliveries. Matthew Horn's turn to face now.
The bowler for Pakistan is Mohammad Khan.
That's good bowling from Mohammad Khan, and if he hits the stumps it would be good fielding as well, but as it is, it's turned a great delivery into 5.
Well, you really must be wondering what this game of cricket is. He's bowled a very good delivery, following the batsman as he made room on the leg side, then gathered the ball, but neither the wicketkeeper nor the fielder backing up in the circle was able to stop it. So instead of a dot ball, it's 5 runs.
Didn't really give either the keeper or the fielder much chance. They missed the stumps by some distance. Again, full, close to the block hole. Nicely played by Harris for 2.
New Zealand are already in the finals, so their batsmen can take the opportunity to have a feel of the wicket today before the Australians. Chris Harris is doing it in style, not just having a feel of the wicket, but also scoring runs at will.
It's a good point that you make, Sunil. You know, though you did say earlier that they've only got the lunch break between this game and the final, so they might be a little bit more tired. But it doesn't hurt to have had a net in the morning, does it, before a final?
It certainly doesn't, so long as they don't expend their energies too much. That's the important thing. That's what Chris Harris is now doing, having scored plenty of runs in boundaries. He doesn't want to tire himself out, keep his energies for the big match later on in the afternoon.
Chris Harris is 50 in just 20 deliveries. No use of the max zone. Nicely played by Horn.
Somebody like Matthew Horn can actually use this match for getting a feel of the pitch, get his rhythm going. He hasn't got too many runs after 9 overs. New Zealand are 99 for 3.
So on target for, what, 5 more overs and 10. It all started with Australia batting first against South Africa. They won that game. And then South Africa beat India this morning, having been put into bat. So it's just changed it a little bit. This might well be another example of a big score being too much for the side batting second. He's hit that into the city virtually. It's about a 30-foot fence that surrounds this ground, and it wasn't nearly high enough to stop it. And that ball will be lost.
Well, I think Pakistan have got their tactics wrong here today. They should have got Khan, who's quicker and who bowls much fuller, bowling from this end where the boundaries are shorter, but to bring the leg spin of Shahid Afridi to a left-hander, or even a right-hander who can make room and make use of the short boundaries and get big runs over there. I think they've got their tactics wrong.
Yeah, I guess the tournament organisers, they obviously don't organise anything like this without a budget. You put a budget aside for entertainment and whatever else. That's a magnificent shot. The flag goes up. He's only going to get 12 for it. He really ought to get 24.
Yes, that's a huge hit by Chris Harris. Been in good form right throughout this tournament. Just right in the slot over there, turning into him just a little bit. He's made use of the turn, and that's a huge hit. It's in the max zone, so he gets 12.
Yeah, another $50 or $60 off the budget, I suppose. I reckon they might have to re-budget when it comes to cricket balls. Quicker ball, which he misses.
Well, Shahid Afridi thought that he had nicked it behind, but I'm not too sure Salim Ullah is a regular wicket keeper. It's too much to ask him to be able to gather that quicker delivery, because it is really quick.
It's very good running if he gets in, which he does. Wide signalled.
That was a wide ball which counts for 2 runs.
Well, after having been smacked by Chris Harris bowling his leg spinners, Shahid Afridi's bowling his quicker deliveries.
Bowled him out. Got the wicket with the extra delivery, but a wonderful innings comes to a close. Chris Harris has entertained a sparse crowd here, but a good one by comparison to the previous 2 days. Played some wonderful shots, and Sunil, most of them proper cricket shots, except
Yes,
maybe this one.
Yes, that's been the beauty of his innings. He's played straight, he's played the occasional pull shot. This time perhaps just beaten by the earlier deliveries, which were quicker. This one was a slower onto him, and he's bowled by Afridi for 71. Some sort of revenge there for Afridi. New Zealand 121 for 4.